Hi dear students, our today's topic is company management, and with this we are going to discuss about the directors and their roles and types of directors. So let us begin with actually who is a director. Before going to the Companies Act, let me detail you in general who is a director. He is a person from a group of managers who leads or supervises a particular area of the company. So, normally a director may be defined as an individual who directs, controls, manages the affairs of the company. And a director is a person who is appointed to perform the duties and functions of the companies according to the Companies Act of 2013. Normally, the Companies Act started with 1956 under Section 2 of Section 13. However, in the year 2013, certain modifications are happened. If you want me to put the definition or given by 2013, let me write here. So, ICA, Indian Companies Act 2013 says a director may be defined as an individual who directs, controls, directs, controls, or manages the affairs of company. A director is a person who is appointed to perform the duties and functions of company. So this is the definition given by ICA of 2013. But actually, according to Section 2 of subsection 13 of the Companies Act 56, it defines a director as any person occupying the position of director by whatever name called. According to the Articles of Association, generally contains certain provisions to their appointment, retirement rights, duties, and remuneration. You can write either of the definition, but however, I recommend you to write the definition of ICA 2013 for the director. Now let us look at the role of the board of directors. The first one is these directors are the representatives, elected representatives of shareholders, and the board of directors collectively responsible for making good policies and good governance to the company, and the board should have complete freedom to think, decide and act at the best interest of the company and stakeholders, which means the directors are whole and solely responsible for the activities of the company because they are accountable to the stakeholders, shareholders, as well as to the public interest of the company. Then let us see about the appointment of directors. If it is the first directors they are not named in the Articles of Association, at least they should be mentioned in the Memorandum of Association to be appointed as a first directors. And the power to appoint the director is exercised by shareholders in the first annual general meeting according to Section 255. And at the first annual general meeting, shareholders will appoint not less than 2/3 of the total strength. And every year, 1/3 of the directors will retire. And the directors who retires as per the provision of Section 256 who have been longest in the service and get elected automatically unless they decide not to continue and have expressly given by notice expressing such intention. Which means whoever the directors are getting retired according to Section 256, they can also have a right to continue after the retirement. However, they have to expressly mention in the board of meeting about such intention. And now let us see about the number of directors. The minimum and maximum number of directors in private and public companies. So in the public companies, it should be at least 13, and in the private companies, it must have minimum 2 directors, And Companies Act prescribed that the minimum number of directors is, however, 15. But the companies can appoint more than 15 after passing a resolution in Board of Meeting. So, every public company should have at least 3 and private company should have minimum 2 directors, and according to the Companies Act, the minimum number should be 15, and if they want to increase the number above 15, a resolution has to be passed in Board of Meetings. Then in case of public company, if they want to increase the number more than 15, then shareholders has to participate and they should pass a resolution in the general meeting. And under the Rule 3 of Companies Act, all the listed companies, public companies with turnover of 300 crores or a paid up capital, that means whatever the capital they are raising through the shares, which is valuing 100 crores, there must and should be a women director in the board. So, under the Rule 3, a company with about 300 crores of turnover or the company's paid up capital is 100 crores, then a woman director is must in the board. Now, let us look at the types of directors. Executive director. Here, the director works for the full time in the company, actively participating and responsible towards the organization. And then the next one is non-executive directors. Here, he or she, that means the director, working directors are not involved in everyday activities of the company. So, they may or may not participate actively. However, they are also accountable for the company's activities. And the next one is managing directors. They have a substantial ability to make the decisions. So these are very important directors because they have to take important decisions in the company. A public or a subsidiary companies whose share capital is more than 5 crore rupees must have a managing director. The important sentence to be noted here is a public company or a subsidiary of public company where the share capital is more than 5 crores, they must and should have a managing director for taking the decisions in the company. And independent directors, and these are the people who have paid up share capital turnover or outstanding loans of 100 crores and 50 crores or more need 2 independent directors. So the companies where it has such and such amounts as an investment, they must and should have 2 independent directors. And these independent directors do not have any direct relationship with the company. This is an important sentence. So, indirect directors do not have any direct relationship with the company. The next one is residential director. This is a director who lived in India for at least 182 days. That means there are certain NRIs who normally travel here and there and they are supposed to be in India, that means in the country for at least 182 days to act as a residential director. Then small shareholder directors, they are the ones who can appoint a single director in a listed company by issuing a notice to at least 1,000 shareholders. So, a shareholder also can become a director. However, he has to send a notice to 1,000 shareholders and he should have an approval of 1/10 acceptance of the shareholders to be as a small shareholder director. The next one is women director. The companies who have their securities listed above 100 crores of turnover and 300 crores or more must have a women director. The paid up capital of 100 crores and turnover of 300 crores must and should have a women director. I repeat once again, students, the companies whichever has the securities listed in the stock exchange with a paid up capital of 100 crores and turnover of 300 crores must and should have a women director. Next one is additional director. This is an extra director normally taken position as a director until the next annual general meeting. Say suppose like any one of the director is out of town